Good afternoon to everybody who's tuning in to Live at the Waterhole. A very warm welcome. And my name's Chad Hobson. I'm going to be your naturalist for the afternoon. We hope everybody is having a fantastic Tuesday so far. And just a reminder to everybody that this is a live and interactive show. So please do send through your questions and comments using the hashtag WildEarth on X. You can join the conversation on our YouTube channel. If you would like to subscribe, you can do so on our website. Or if you would like to, you can also then download the WildEarth app on any of the app stores. So we are starting off now at Stony Point, which is in Betty's Bay in the Western Cape, with these two beautiful lizards. I believe they are spiny-tailed girdled lizard, or Cape girdled lizard. You can see, I'm sure it gets its name by those beautiful spines on the tail. Quite an amazing little lizard. You can see that the one behind is quite a lot smaller compared to the one that's closest to the camera. Is it going to come out, show itself? Quite an incredible little looking lizard. Nadine saying that it looks like a small little crocodile. It does indeed. When crocodiles are born, they are very, very small as they hatch from that little egg of theirs. But luckily for these lizards, it looks like mom's got the youngsters back, whereas when a crocodile does hatch, it's on its own from day one. I'm sure it's trying to find any little bit of sun that it can get. There's a little bit of sunshine in Johannesburg at the moment, and I think mostly that's cold fronts and all the rain has passed, but last night there was quite a big storm pretty much all over. There wasn't too much happening at any of the waterholes. Nothing really to write home about. But you never know what now comes down within the next 2 hours, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Perfect. Well, talking of the weather all around South Africa, why don't we take a look at the weather and see what's happening? Not too sure if it did freeze. Oh, there we go. It did freeze. Apologies for that, whatever happened there. Technology wasn't on our side, but we have now crossed to Juma Private Game Reserve. We've got a beautiful young male impala. It does seem like the weather is still a little bit rough at Juma. You can see the wind is blowing quite a lot. You can hear lots and lots of red-billed oxpeckers also. I'm sure this young male impala is most likely going to try and find a spot to go and hunker itself down with there being so much wind. I mean, it is also quite a vulnerable time for a lot of the prey, because it's often a good time for predators to be out and about hunting. You can imagine, I mean, a herd of impalas standing together with lots of wind, and they smell a predator. They don't actually know exactly where that predator is coming from, and if it gets too close, they might all just run off in different directions. And we all know how camouflaged a leopard is. Can just pounce out of the grass onto one of them. Joan Miller is saying, good Tuesday, Wild Earth and Chad. Good Tuesday to you. Caitlin Boss. Hello, Wild Earth, Chad and Nadine. Andrea Mag is saying, hi, Chad and Nadine. Lady Macbeth is saying, it looks pretty chilly. It does indeed look pretty chilly here at Juma. I mean, we are also coming towards, getting closer towards winter. So the cold is coming. But I think for now, let's head back over to Stony Point, where we've got some dassies. Welcome back to Stony Point, where we do have some dassies. It's quite amazing in the last couple of months how we've gone from only a couple of locations to all different locations all over the show. Amazing to be able to see these dassies and the lizards and even those penguins that are sometimes around. Levy saying, hi Chad, nice to hear your voice. I'm just going to enjoy the show. I do hope you enjoy the show, and hopefully there's a little bit more content that might be around, because for now it is a little bit quiet, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Margo, you're asking if I've ever seen a track of a dassie. I have never seen a track of a dassie, I will be honest with you. I'm not even going to lie, I don't even know how the track looks of a dassie. I think it would also be quite tough though to see a dassie's track, just because of the habitats that they are in. And here, for instance, you can see they're in quite a rocky area, so there's not too much sand around. Terry 11, you're saying, my cats and I really enjoy this live show. Thank you. Hope you have a good day. Thank you, Terry. I'm glad your cats and you are enjoying the show. And I mean, it is amazing to be able to bring this to you all live, wherever you are in the country. And in saying that, please do send through your questions and comments using that hashtag Wild Earth on X. Hopefully we will be able to get to your questions or your comments that you do send through. We always try our best. This Dusty looks like it's looking at the camera. Like, what do you do? Maybe the camera is just moving. Lady Macbeth is saying, maybe not regretting my decision to not visit in April. You must, I mean, yeah, if you are visiting now, the weather isn't the greatest. But I would say my favorite time in the bush is now coming up. June, July, into August. August does get a little bit windy. It's just because it's a lot cooler during the day, so animals tend to stay a little bit more active. Also, you get up a little bit later in the morning, you go out a little bit earlier in the afternoon. So there's pros and cons to all the different times out in the bush. Look how many cormorants there are. Sure. Lots and lots of cormorants. Yeah, I think let's leave these dassies and cormorants. Why don't we head over to Tower Lodge and see what's happening there? It's a lot calmer, the scene here at Tower Lodge. You don't have the noise of the waves crashing on the rocks. So we've got a blacksmith lapwing here at Tower Lodge. And maybe what we can do is just have a quick scan around the water and see if there is anything of interest. We will start to scan in just a little bit. black-headed heron. Lots and lots of noise going on at the moment, but it is quite nice because a lot of people were asking the difference between grey heron and black-headed heron the other day when we had the grey herons, and they can very clearly see that black head, and then the black goes all the way down the neck. Melo is saying, hope to see some crocs today. Hopefully we are able to find some crocodiles for you. I mean, Tower Lodge is a good spot for crocodiles. So we will have a look-see for you. Apparently there was a crocodile a little bit earlier on that was spending time on the bank of the waterhole here at Tower, but often if the weather does start to turn or it starts to get a little bit colder, not too much sun, you'll often then find the crocodiles will go into the water. I mean, there's not really any point for that crocodile to be sitting out on the bank. It's not going to really gain too much energy while it is out there. They'll rather spend time in the water. Lady Macbeth is a nice black-headed heron. We don't see those too often. Yeah, we don't see them too often. They are around, but the grey heron is a lot more common compared to the black-headed heron. And just a reminder to all the viewers, there's some very exciting things happening from Wednesday, which is tomorrow in the afternoon. Maya in Wildland, sorry. This week for the kids show, we'll have a special guest on safari, Maya in the Wildland. She's a 4-year-old safari guide and influencer with a heart for everything nature. Kiddies, be sure to join as to not miss out. I definitely think I'll also be tuning in to Wild Earth at that stage to watch Maya in the wild. Do follow her on Instagram, and it's very, very entertaining. Don't think we're gonna be seeing too much in these weaver nests. I think most of them have left already. It's always worth just having a quick look and see if there is anything. Maybe all the animals were a little bit scared at Madikwe. They haven't had rain for so long that they were in a bit of shock. What's going on? What's this water falling from the sky? I haven't had it in so long. It is quite amazing. It's filled up this waterhole quite a lot already. We're also searching for any crocodiles. Nadine's just said that she she is looking for the crocodile, but she gets excited when she sees a little piece of grass, thinking maybe it's the crocodile's head. Whenever people ask to see crocodiles, it always brings back the sighting that I had on Sunset Safari, where there was a pack of wild dogs at one of the dams at Juma, and there was a piece of elephant dung that was floating in the water. And every time the wild dogs came down to drink, they would get a bit of a fright. And that, at first, myself and Panda both thought, oh, it's a baby crocodile. But then after a little bit more investigating, it turned out to be just a elephant dung floater. We sat there the whole afternoon watching. It was pretty entertaining. You can see that these are 3 red-knobbed coots. The male must have just moved off now. Yeah, that's very, very prominent red on his forehead. Very, very prominent red eye. You can see that it pretty much looks like these red-knobbed coots feed on anything. I mean, they'll feed on any aquatic plants that might be around, any algae, crustaceans, insects, things like that. There is a spider that's hanging on for dear life. is it a spider? Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't look like a spider, but apparently there was a spider there. You can see there that it's actually like flies and maybe a bee, the one on the top. And so they've obviously flown into the web, and then that web has caught them. And that spider will then come back and one at a time feed on all these little insects. Maxine, you're saying good afternoon, good morning, wherever you might be. Jelly B is saying, question for Chad. Afternoon, Chad. Is this waterhole tile fed by a water source or purely rainfall? I believe that this waterhole here tile is just fed by rainfall. I mean, within the last 3 months that I've been doing live at the waterhole, I haven't seen it drastically rise at all. The only time I've seen it rise is now, which we know that tile on Madikwe got some rain last night. So I don't believe that it is pumped. I do know the one at Jamala, however, is pumped. See, there's a couple of Egyptian geese that are just relaxing. I mean, it does seem like it is quite chilly. In Dikwe, you can see there's quite a breeze that's blowing, so they're probably just lying in the sun, trying to warm up a little bit. I think a lot of people, they always look past an Egyptian goose. They do have beautiful colors on them. I know as South Africans, we do get quite annoyed with them. We spend lots and lots of time on the roof, making lots and lots of noise. And black-headed herons literally in the water. Maybe you couldn't judge how deep it was when it landed. Almost looked like it was hunkered down in the water. It's standing up. Oh, is it going to take off? Looked like it was almost going to jump and take off. Peace to ya. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm saying a new member. Good morning, Chad. Welcome to the Wild Earth family. Thanks very much for joining. How beautiful is that? That black-headed heron is giving itself a little bath. Be good broadcast. Good morning to you. Also, very warm welcome to the Wild Earth family. It's amazing. Day by day, we are constantly getting new people that are signing up and having a look and joining the channel. A lot of the advertising actually word of mouth. So if you speak to your friends and things like that, they might then think, oh, got nothing to do, let me just hop on. I mean, I even know a lot of people that hop on during their lunch breaks just to get a bit of a break from the office where they might be working. I'd love to see this black-headed heron catch a fish. Maybe because there's been quite a lot of rain. I mean, this waterhole's filled up quite a lot. Maybe there's not too much food around, and that's why this black-headed heron isn't hunting or looking to hunt. So normally the herons are always on the lookout for something. There's a couple of blacksmith lapwings there. Normally, Tar Lodge it has lots of different mammals. Normally, the place where we see lots of different species all in the same areas together. Oh, here and octopus fishing. Yana DC saying I am in the office. There we go. You've probably got it on in the background every now and then just to glance over. It's quite nice just to have it on. I know even at home when I'm working on some other things or doing some emails, I also just have it on in the background. It's nice to be there. I know a lot of people even have it on with the sound off, and they just watch. Oh, speaking about mammals and things like that, why don't we head over to Rosie's pan and see what's come down? Amazing, we've got an elephant. Well, at least we've got something. A beautiful elephant bull here at Rosie's pan. Peace to you. You're saying Rosie's is your favorite cam. Brilliant. I'm very glad you've already got a favorite. Everybody's got their own reasons for different cameras being their favorites. There has been quite a lot of action that's happened here at Rosie's Pan. I mean, there's been wild dogs, there's been lions, elephants. I've personally seen here that big pride of lions. That I think they killed something quite big close by, and they kept coming back to the water to drink, just to help with the digestion. Does look like quite a young elephant bull. I mean, just by looking at the sheer size of him and also looking at the tusks, often you'll find that elephant bulls will get kicked out of the herd at around about 18 years old. So I'd say this elephant's probably somewhere around there between 18 and 20 years old. So you might try to find another elephant to join up with and form a small little bachelor herd with. Piece two, I was saying yes, amazing sightings here. Yeah, there's always lots of amazing things that happen here at Rosie's Pan and the Olifants Game Reserve. Joe Miller is saying that this is the prettiest waterhole. It is very pretty. The whole scenery around it. I've also actually had a leopard here at Rosie's Pan. Sorry, got very excited there. It just reminded me because that game trail just on the right hand side, the game trail on the right hand side had a young male leopard there, and unfortunately, Nadine, it wasn't me that saw the wild dogs catching the impalas. I think it might have been Ralph. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but sure, if I did see that, I would be ecstatic. One minute it's there, the next minute it's gone. There's a rainbow skink. It's lying on the wood there. Technology doesn't seem to be our friend today, Nadine. I'm just gonna scan around here at Rosie's Pan and see if there might be any interesting birds. They might be fluttering around. I think we're gonna leave Rosie's Pan. It doesn't seem like there is too much happening, but why don't we change it up and head over to Camphor's Dam and see what's happening? Brilliant, some more mammals for us. So we are now at Camphor's Dam in Kimberley. We've got a small little herd of springbok as well as wildebeest. You see there's a blue wildebeest, but also then one golden wildebeest. One at the back there. It's a much different color, a little bit lighter. It's also got the sort of white or golden mane. Peace to you, you're saying George is at Camphor's Dam. I know everybody is very, very worried about where George is. They haven't seen George in a very long time on Juno. For anybody new or doesn't know why I'm laughing, George is a very well-known wildebeest that everybody loves so dearly at Juma. He spends time in the western parts of Juma in quite a nice big open clearing. They haven't seen him for a while, so they're a little bit worried that maybe the Talamati breakaway pride got hold of him. Charles Thomas is saying nice. Indeed, very, very nice. Nice that we're able to find some mammals for you. Quite amazing there to see the difference between a blue wildebeest and then a golden wildebeest. Still trying to fit in though. Lenny one, thank you very much. I do apologize, saying that it was Liam with the dogs. Thank you for letting me know. I do appreciate that. Also hear quite a lot of birds that are calling. It's also quite a good spot for some birding, but I think we've done quite some birding now. So we'll just spend a little bit of time with these wildebeest and springboks. Jane, you're asking, wouldn't lone elephants be lonely? They are social creatures. So, I mean, Jane, elephants, they are social animals, but elephant bulls are often solitary. So, when I say that, they can also join up in a bachelor herd. So you might find elephant bulls will be alone sometimes. Sometimes they'll be in groups. It really just depends. But it's the females and the youngsters that are the very, very social elephants, not necessarily the elephant bulls. But I'm glad you are a little bit worried about lone elephants. Maybe these wildebeest and springbok will come down to the water and have a drink for us. Wouldn't that be lovely? It does also seem like the wind is howling at Camphor's Dam. The flock of flamingos. Most of I always find it funny that the flamingos always stand on one leg and they are just resting. You'd think to balance it's much easier to stand on two legs. So you always find the flamingos standing on one. Seems like these flamingos have all tucked their heads away. Often when flamingos do rest, they sort of put their head almost underneath their wing. Might just be to get away from this wind. Here in the camera that it is pretty windy. I'm sure that's exactly what they are trying to do. Might be one that's starting to feed. Yeah, so I think we've had a good time here at Campus Dam. Let's head back over to Tower Lodge and see what's happening there. I think that might just be a piece of elephant dung that's just floating in the water there. Jelly B, you're asking, is that tan brown wildebeest actually a blue wildebeest with lighter pigmentation or just a juvenile? So, Jelly B, it's the golden wildebeest. It's a rare variation or mutation in color from the blue wildebeest. So, I mean, it is a blue wildebeest, but it's just a different color variation or mutation from the blue wildebeest. It is quite special to see. I remember my first live at the Waterhole show ever. I saw this golden wildebeest and I thought, what on earth is going on here? And then after a little bit, I was like, oh, okay, it's a blue golden wildebeest. That's exactly what we saw when I was at Juma, speaking about the sights of the wild dogs, and they were a little bit nervous. That's exactly what the wild dogs were looking at and couldn't really understand what was happening. There we go. Just so everybody knows that I'm talking the truth. There's a little bit of dung that's floating. Jason Gravy said, I want to see more elephants and cats. Jason, I think we all want to see more elephants and cats. I mean, I think it is just with the rain that they've had last night. It was pretty much raining all over the country last night. So often you do find that when it's rained, the animals don't tend to move around too much really straight away. But I'm sure by tomorrow there'll be a little bit more movement of the animals. But do please keep sending through your questions and comments, everybody. You can send them through using the hashtag WildEarth on X, or you can send them through on our YouTube channel. If you would like to, you can subscribe on the website or even download the WildEarth app in any of the app stores. Oh, there's a baboon. There's a alarm called there, or it is called. There we go. I've given Nadine the task to try and see if it can find the baboon. Oh, there it is. It doesn't look like it's those two that were calling. Sounds like the baboons calling like above the camera. And so, I mean, baboons will alarm call, but also the dominant male will often vocalize his territory. So it might just be that dominant male that's maybe up in a height advantage, looking around, showing off. I mean, it would be incredible if we were able to see any cats. Jason Graham, you've just said that you want to see some more elephants and cats, and maybe there's a cat somewhere around here. It's always amazing how the baboons sit just like humans. They do all seem very, very chilled, but there's one that's calling, and it's often if they do see a predator and the whole troop sees it, it's a constant bah, 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 bah. So we'll wait for that. I do think it is just one male that's causing us to get excited around here at the waterhole. But I would just like to see where he is. I've got just a feeling that the male's sitting in a tree close by to where the camera is. Yeah, it's amazing to see how much this waterhole has risen, literally from last night. So it'll be actually quite interesting to see how much rain they got at Madikwe. was amazing to also see quite a nice big troop of baboons moving through this nice big open area. And it's a good spot for them also to look to scavenge or to hunt, whatever you want to call it. Because you can imagine if they lift up a couple of these rocks, there might be lots of insects that are around there. And they'll feed on any fresh seeds or fruits that they might find. So it's a nice area, and especially after rain, you tend to get quite a lot of insect activity. Lots of termite elates that are coming out to fly and things like that. So they do also lose their wings, so then they just run around on the ground. It's a perfect opportunity for the baboons to feed. Jason Graham is a very intelligent animal. How it can change its hunting skills if forced to do so, especially the city baboons. 100%. I mean, they are very, very smart and intelligent animals. And if you think about even the ones in Cape Town, I'm just saying those ones because I've heard many stories. Those baboons in Cape Town, I mean, they'll often steal food from people, break into cars and things like that. Like, they've adapted in order to find the food available to them. Yes, there's lots of mountains and fruits and things like that that grow on the mountains that they can feed on, but it's a lot easier for them to steal food out of people's hands, or they don't have to venture too far. So they are very, very intelligent. Oh, it's quite a young baboon. And Sandra, you're asking what species of baboons these will be. So these will be the chakma baboons. The chakma baboon. So you'll only find the chakma baboon within South Africa, mostly within Southern Africa. I mean, there are also different baboons. I know of the olive baboon, yellow baboon, and then the chakma. I think there's 5 though, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that one that's just come into picture now. It's still sitting down. Looks like it might be a big male. So it could be the one that was making all the noise. Ronald Taylor is saying baboons have 94% the same genes as humans. I'm not surprised that it's not even a little bit more than that. It's quite scary to see the way the baboons act, and it's pretty much on par with us as humans. Very, very incredible. So often you'll see the baboons, I mean, you can see this male walking. You can see that kink in the tail. So, I mean, for the males it wouldn't really have a purpose, but the females for the youngster, when the youngster sits on the back, it's almost like a little backrest. And the female lifts up the tail, that then will support the baby while they are moving. Unless you're that baby on the back of that female. Oh, now it's going onto the stomach. You can see all these baboons are feeding now, picking up little insects that they might be finding. Maybe with the weather that's coming, it's blown a lot of seeds onto the ground. It seems like it's a good spot for these baboons to feed. When this baboon walks, it almost looks like it's got a little bit of swagger. I mean, baboons, they can be quite scary, and I mean, not scary, they're intimidating. There was a ranger once, I won't say his name. He'll be disappointed if I do say his name, but at one of the reserves I worked at, you have to do these reserve walks. So you do, when I did it, it was 10 walks where they give you a rifle, they give you all your food for the day, and 10 hours. So you'll walk from, say, 6 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. And the mentors, they give you a route. So they'll say, okay, walk this road, that road, this road, that road. And just to get used to the roads, the property, animal behavior, learn different things. And there was a ranger that came around the corner and saw a whole troop of baboons coming towards him. And he decided this is way too intimidating. He's going to reroute. And he then rerouted because you have to stay on the roads. I don't want you to go off into the bushes in case you get lost and things like that. And we got back to the lodge. And we had a debrief with the head ranger and the mentors. And they asked, why did you reroute here? And he said, no, there was a troop of baboons. And I'll remember it forever. The head ranger and the head mentor, they just laughed for about 5 minutes. And like, we understood why he rerouted, but it's just quite funny to think about. Dan from the UK is saying, love the way the mother's tail makes a backrest for the babies. It is quite amazing to see. That one's now just holding on. And then Nora, you're saying, do they have a dominant female in the troop as well? So Nora, they'll just have a dominant male. I mean, I'm sure there will be a female that's the most dominant female, but she doesn't really have anything to do with the looking after of the troop or anything like that. It's all done by the dominant male. Well, that was amazing to be able to spend time with that troop of baboons there. Oh, there's a crocodile. Excellent. There was somebody that was looking a little bit earlier for hoping to see crocodiles. Joanne Miller, if you are still watching, you did say a little bit earlier, I hope to see some crocs today. Well, there we've got one crocodile for you, and it doesn't seem like there's a small crocodile. It does seem rather large. It's amazing how these crocodiles do move around in the water there. Almost sends like shivers down your spine watching it move around. This crocodile always seems like they're on the move looking for something to snack on. Piece 2, are you asking, Chad, what's the longest that you know of a crocodile that has lived? The longest I know of a crocodile that's lived was, I believe, Steve Irwin caught a crocodile with his dad. And that crocodile was apparently it's lived for 140 years. I'm not too sure exactly how they know that, because none of them would have been around for that time, but maybe it was in certain zoos and they moved it from one zoo to the next, another zoo to the next. But yeah, that's pretty incredible. I mean, I know crocodiles, they normally live for about 60 to 70 years. Ella, you 12, you're asking how can you tell if they are in hunting mode? So, Ella, I think crocodiles, they're always in hunting mode. If they're not in hunting mode, they'll be sitting on the bank trying to gain their energy from the sun. Whereas, I mean, if they are in the water, that means they're looking for something to hunt. That's where they will hunt and look for any fish that might be around, or they sometimes will ambush. So ambush, what they'll do is they'll wait in the water right close to the bank for something to come down and drink literally directly in front of them, and they'll then launch out using that tail of theirs to try and catch it. Ronald Taylor is saying Tar looks like it got a lot of rain. Yeah, Ronald, it does look like Tar got a huge amount of rain. I mean, yesterday afternoon when I was on live at the waterhole, there's lots and lots of mud that was around, and now literally the whole area is one waterhole, which is amazing to see. Nadine's struggling to keep. Oh, and is that the second one? Third one? There's at least 3 crocodiles around. What happened there? There was something that looked white. I mean, I've never seen personally crocodiles fighting with one another, but I would definitely think they would fight with one another because, especially if there's minimal food availability within a waterhole, and I mean, then they would fight, and probably a bigger one would try and kick the smaller one out because they don't want to share food. I mean, nobody really wants to share if there's minimal food. I've never seen two crocodiles fight. Jason Graham is saying, do you get gators as well as crocodiles? So we don't get gators here in South Africa. We only get the Nile crocodiles. Alligators you'll find in America, those areas, but we only get the Nile crocodile. I'd love to see this crocodile catch something. I've watched before crocodiles hunting barbel or catfish. That was pretty entertaining to see. If the Jaws music started playing now, I'd throw my headset off and run away. Oof, no thank you. I think that's got to be one of my biggest fears is sharks. If I'm diving, it's perfect, no problem. But swimming in the ocean, oof, sharks are always on my mind. amazing how sort of like streamlined that crocodile can make itself, not making too much movement in the water, not making any ripples. I wonder what's going through that crocodile's head right now. Where am I going to get the next meal? Nadine's panicking. That's what's happening. Why is it gone underwater? What is going on? I wish we could see underwater, see what was happening. But there must be quite a lot of food available to these crocodiles here in this waterhole at Tower Lodge because, I mean, they seem like they are right with one another. I think if there was small food availability, they would fight. For 20 Amsterdam, you're asking how deep is that body of water? Oof, it's very tough to be able to say exactly how deep it is, but I mean, it's not too deep. But I mean, it's very tough because when there wasn't too much water around, there's lots of mud and that around. I would say probably no more than 1.5 meters, somewhere around there. I'm from the UK saying, once again, enjoying the background noises. Very glad you enjoying my background music. Music to your ears. Mega Man UK, you're saying it must be glorious for these crocs to have all this water to swim in. I think Mega Man, they're taking full advantage of having all this water to swim in, because literally over the last month or so, it's been very, very dry. If you go watch an episode back, even from yesterday, you'll see how little water there is compared to today. So very, very happy that there's lots of water. Starbuck, you're saying, is it true that crocs are prehistoric? They are prehistoric. So, I mean, the crocodiles, they share heritage with dinosaurs, with a specific family that dates back something like 200 million years ago. So I would definitely say they are prehistoric. Okay, for now, we've had an incredible time with the crocodiles here at Tower Lodge. Why don't we head over to Tembe Elephant Park and see what is happening? Oh, the show should be PG. No, it did look like there was two Inyalas that were trying to mate. It is quite amazing now to see the difference. I mean, this is perfect. Impala on the right hand side, male Inyala in the middle, and then female Inyala on the left hand side. And I mean, you can see that female Inyala has got those beautiful white markings, the disruptive markings down the side. Oh, here we go. Let's see. The sexual dimorphism between the male and female Inyala is huge. I mean, as you can see there, and it's one of the only antelope species that you have this very, very big difference between. Most of the antelopes, one has horns, the other doesn't. There's a prairie dog. You saying that this is so cool. It is quite incredible to see. Not something that you see all the time. You can see that male is sniffing around where that Inyala female has been. And it's just to see if she is an estrus or she's ready to mate. Because, I mean, unlike impalas, where impalas have a mating season, the Inyalas, they mate throughout the year. So, any time of the year. Whereas impalas, pretty much now, during the month of April is when they'll mate. And then they'll give birth late November, early December. Lady Macbeth is saying she's not ready yet, young man. Didn't seem like she was ready. She was just walking off. Watching. Oh, my English, no good right now. Nice big herd of impalas. It's now grazing around here. It also looks like it might have rained at Tembe. Just looking at I remember the elephant yesterday. The elephant bull was kicking his feet in this puddle here. and it was much smaller, the puddle. Oh, there's one in Nyala. You can see the Nyala off to the right hand side there, those beautiful white disruptive markings. It's always nice to also see the lala palm, so there's impala closest to the camera. See that small little tree, there's a couple of them around here. Those lala palms, they only occur up in that region around northern Zululand. There's actually a special bird that nests within those lala palms called a lemon-breasted canary. And so a lot of the times, if big birders want to see lemon-breasted canaries, they'll go up to Tembe Elephant Park or Ndunu, and they'll go spend time there looking for the lemon-breasted canary. Soul loves nature. You're asking, do Nyala need to mate repeatedly like leopards, or was he just unsuccessful each of those times? So they don't have to mate like leopards do. I mean, leopards and lions, they constantly will mate for 3 or 4 days, whereas Nyalas, they don't need to do that. They might mate once or twice, but they're not gonna mate repeatedly. Nyalas also, they're just like impalas. They're able to feed on grass and the leaves. I mean, have a look at this one here. You can see how it's feeding on this nice lush green grass. Oh, I think that would be quite nice. Why don't we head over to Rosie's pan and see what is happening there? We've got a beautiful big leopard tortoise. Yeah, at Rosie's pan. It's always nice to see the tortoises moving around, and it's only really when the rain is coming or the rain has already fallen that you'll then get to see tortoises moving around. Very cool to see, and it's quite a big tortoise. You get them all different sizes, but this is quite an old tortoise. Maybe it came down to the waterhole to have a little drink. This tortoise really does seem like it wants to get somewhere quite quickly. It isn't moving the fastest. Please, you say they still can't get over that they stink. I mean, tortoises, they do have an odor to them, but often that odor is when they drop their bursa or open their bursa, which is where they will store the water. So, I mean, often people will tell you not to pick up a tortoise because if you do pick it up, often their defense mechanism is to drop all that water. Because it's been sitting inside them, it's got this strong odor to it. And that's maybe what you have been smelling or what you smelt. Oh, so it does seem like that tortoise has now vanished behind these bushes. Maybe we go to the pan and see if there's any interesting birds. We are also coming up towards the last 5 minutes of the show. So please do send through your last questions or comments. It has been a little bit of a quieter show, but there's still been some interesting things. I do hope everybody has learned something new at least today. Oh, that was a very quick zoom out. Well, I thought there was going to be at least something here for us to see, but it seems like it's a little bit quiet. Maybe the animals know that there's some more rain coming. They're still hiding. It is quite amazing how animals do know sort of what to expect. And the herds of elephants at Pinder used to, whenever there was a storm incoming, like the next day, the day before, they would always head directly south. And so we always knew, oh, there's a terrapin. So we always knew when there was rain coming. Peace to you, and hope to see you back on the drive, Chad. I really do hope to be back at Juma. I'll see what I can do. And then Lenny, you're asking, could I tell if that tortoise was a male? So Lenny, it's quite tough to tell if it's male or female just by looking at it. Often if you lift up the tortoise and look underneath, often the female's got quite a straight underneath to the shell, whereas the male's got this curved bottom of the shell, and it's for when he'll mate and mount the female. He almost like fits on like a groove onto the female, and so it is very tough to just say, okay, that's a female. There is also you can also tell male and female by looking right at the back. There's that little sort of fold of, I wouldn't say skin, but shell. The female's got a smaller shell there right at the bottom at the back by the tail compared to the male. But I'll be honest, Lenny, I didn't look and see if that was a male or a female. And from the UK, it's only my pleasure. You're saying thank you once again for a lovely afternoon. We appreciate my comments and information always. Thank you, Diane, for always sending through such kind and encouraging words. Sierra Delta is saying these turtles, they also need to warm up like crocs. They do indeed. So Sierra, we call this a terrapin. So a terrapin is very similar to a turtle. The turtle is in salt water, whereas the terrapins, you find them in fresh water. Also, the terrapin brings its head into the shell sideways, whereas the turtle can't bring its head into the shell at all. But yeah, they do need the sun to warm up. So that's exactly what this terrapin is doing here. I wonder if this might be the same terrapin that we saw the other day. He actually fell off this little rock here. It was very entertaining. It was quite impressive how, this terrapin, sorry, a crocodile in my mind, how this terrapin will climb up onto a rock like that. Pretty impressive. But we are coming up to the end of the show, everybody, and I just want to thank you once again for all joining in and tuning in. It's been a lovely afternoon, and I do hope you have a lovely rest of your Tuesday afternoon, and you can catch me on live at the Waterhole tomorrow, same time, same place. But for now, goodbye.